Respect. Respect is an important part of all our lives, right? On the screen you can see 5 reasons why respect is so important. Those reasons come from the Brookings Institution, a left-wing think tank. Those reasons look persuasive, don't they? It matters to our quality of life, that's number 1. Well, okay, our quality of life is certainly important. Number 2, it shows we belong in our community. And that sure seems important too, right? We want to belong in our community. It provides an important foundation for equal treatment. Well, we certainly want that too. Number 4, it's the basis for relational equality. And who doesn't want relational equality, am I right? And finally, number 5, self-respect is important to individual flourishing. Oh, yep. And I'm here to tell you that it's all a bunch of hooey. It's bunk, codswallop, the silly reflections of the hypersensitive ninnies that currently populate our American left today. All except number 5, that is. Respect is, along with pride, the least worthwhile of things to feel in life. Why? Because it's meaningless. It's the perspective of others about you. As such, you have no control over it whatsoever. If someone really wants to disrespect you, there's not a single solitary thing you can do about it. Now take number 2 from the Brookings Institution, for example. Quote, it shows we belong in our community, end quote. Okay, what if that community is populated by jerks and scalawags, scoundrels and backstabbing bastards? If that were the case, I'd want out. And the last thing I'd want from these bounders would be respect, because they'd respect only someone ugly and evil like them. Now look at number 1 from Brookings. Quote, being respected in our everyday interactions matters to our quality of life, end quote. Oh, why, pray tell? Just because this guy from Brookings says so? On what foundation of reasoning does he base that conclusion? Are we really giving the cashier at ShopRite control over the quality of our life? Why on earth? How about the guy behind the counter of the convenience store? Have we really outsourced our life quality to that guy? Tell me what people on earth really know us, so that only they can really have a real basis on which to decide to respect us, or not. Well, the only ones in your life with that level of knowledge of you are your family and friends. Possibly some colleagues, but likely only if they're also your friends. And with your friends it's automatic, because they're your friends. If your family doesn't respect you, then you do have a problem. But really, no one else's assessment of you should amount to a hill of beans as far as your quality of life is concerned. Jumping around just a bit, take a quick look at number 3. Quote, respect provides an important foundation for equal treatment, end quote. Again, how so? Because this guy says so? How about people treat other people equally regardless of respect? Because it's the right thing to do. If you've demonstrated that I have no reason to respect you, then I'm still going to be polite to you. I'm not going to cheat you. I'm not going to cut you off on the highway. I'm not going to harm you in any way. Why would I? It'd be wrong for me to do that to anyone. The only basis for equal treatment that anyone ought to need is our shared humanity. Nothing more. Demanding that I somehow feel for you an emotion that either I'm not inclined to feel or you haven't earned means nothing as it pertains to equal treatment. Looking at number 4, of course respect is the basis for, quote, relational equality, end quote. Duh. And the sun rises in the east and the sky is blue. If you don't respect someone, then it's highly unlikely that you'll allow that person to fill the role of friend or spouse or any other relationship in your life that puts him or her on an equal footing with you. But respect is earned. When I first meet you, I'll be completely polite to you and courteous and generous and even deferential if you're a woman. But you have to earn my respect as we get to know each other. Otherwise, you'll never be anyone in my life other than some kind of outsider, to whom I'll offer continual mannerly civility, but not respect. In other words, you won't grant relational equality to anyone until you grant them respect. The respect that can come only from a deeper knowledge of that person. Along with that respect will come other deep things too, like trust, affection, admiration. But again, only after some time has passed and you have gained a deeper knowledge of that person. Finally, we come to number 5 from Brookings. Quote, self-respect is important for individual flourishing, end quote. Well, yeah, of course. Self-respect, like any respect, comes from knowledge. You respect yourself if and only if you know yourself and you find yourself worthy of respect, of your own respect in particular. We are often our own severest critic, and if we find ourselves wanting for some reason, then our self-respect diminishes. Of course, no one knows us as thoroughly as we know ourselves. No one knows whether we measure up to our own standards, the standards that drive our self-respect entirely. We are the one person from whom we can't hide, from whom we can't conceal the slightest flaw or chink in our own armor. And if we don't measure up to our own standards, then we won't, for example, try for that new, better job, because we don't think we can do it. We won't try to meet that other attractive person, because we think he or she is, quote, out of our league, end quote. We won't try to learn that new important skill because we consider it beyond our intellect. We won't do any number of millions upon millions of things that we just might do really well, but that we consider beyond our capabilities. So with number 5, this writer from Brookings finally got one right. But otherwise, the respect of others should be worth almost nothing in our lives. A trivial little nothing at all. We'd all be a whole lot better off if we'd simply stop allowing other people's assessment of us to affect our own self-respect. Worry instead about making yourself worthy of the respect of others, and especially of yourself. When you do that, if someone still doesn't respect you after getting to know you, then that's the other person's loss, not yours. For the time being, though, I'll tell you what, I won't give the tiniest hoot about what you think of me, regardless of who you are, or what you look like, or the color of your skin, or your sex, or age, height, or weight, or anything else, and you give me that same consideration. Is it a deal?